Well, hello and welcome back to another episode of At Home with the Willises. I am Nicci Willis and
I'm Jameen at home.
And today's topic is a very interesting topic because we are talking about why people are moving away from the United States. Very interesting. But first, you're at home with the Willises. So before we get started on this very interesting topic, I want to remind you to subscribe, hit that button right there in that corner below, and make sure you hit the bell so you are notified every time we upload new content. And we've got some new projects coming up, so you definitely want to subscribe. We're super excited about it. Also, if you are moving here to Vegas, or honestly, if you're moving anywhere in the country, the Willis team can help you. So visit us at thewillisteamlv.com. We've got a button right there where you can schedule a call with our team, and we would be happy to help. All right, let's get into this, which is it's actually very interesting because I don't think we've ever talked about moving out of the country. We've always been talking about moving within the country. But we're talking about expats today.
That's right. It's time to broaden our horizons. So we talk about various topics.
Okay.
We talk about current events, and this is one big current event.
It is.
And it's a reoccurring topic.
Yeah.
So that's why I felt like we should talk about it.
Okay.
Because the people they already talking about it. They already thinking about it. So we gonna.
It's starting to pop up on my time feed.
Yeah.
Which I'm almost like, have you been messing up my algorithm? Have you been on my phone or something? Yes, I want to know. Have you been like in my YouTube or like? Have you been messing up my algorithm?
Because you know it's listening to you.
You already know. Yeah. And like now things are starting to show up a lot more on my time feed.
First of all, for what? I got my own phone. I got my own
I don't
computer,
know, but
and I don't be talking to AI. You be like, Alexa, what's this? Oh, wait, we'll be quiet. Somebody about to...
I know. I whisper.
Hey,
I whisper around. Those two ladies, they listen up.
I don't do all that. You do that.
But when you go onto the phone or like on the TV or something.
I'm doomsday.
Now
I'm doomsday prepper. You see what I'm saying? I'm playing it for, you know what I'm saying?
Great. Now guess what I'm gonna have on my time feed? Doomsday prepping.
Well, do you watch those shows like on HGTV where they pack up and they're looking in, Brazil or something for their house or wherever they go?
International House Hunters. That used to be my show for quite some time.
Nah, the funny thing is,
this
is so like
they used to be my night show.
Ooh, shiny. The joke is like the reason why it's like unrealistic because they be showing like House Hunters International and they be like, oh, I make birdhouses for a living and I'm looking for a house for $2.3 million.
And my husband's a librarian and our budget is $5.6 million.
Right.
No shade against librarians.
We over here getting people 2 1-buy-downs, down payment assistance.
Can't get
paid closing costs.
Can't get in.
Yeah, so that's funny. But I don't watch a lot of those.
I just want to make sure. I just wanted to let the people know that I think you messing up my algorithm. Because now it's showing me all these different countries.
Somebody has their own algorithm.
But I do like to travel. But we're not talking about traveling. We are talking about people that are moving out of the United States. So
yes,
let's talk about it. How many people move out per year? Like we need to like quantify this thing. Like what's happening? Because we do know, as far as Las Vegas, shameless plug, people are moving here in droves. We're still growing at
crazy.
Yeah, we're still growing at 2.5% now. Every year, year after year, a lot of people are moving from California. So if you are watching this from California, listen, come holler at us. We will take good care of you, and our taxes are much better than California.
The thing about Las Vegas that I like, and I think one of the reasons why it's a big attraction to move to is it's a big melting pot. So you have like diversity here. So it's not just like where we come from, the Midwest is very much like black or white, and it's very less diverse. So here you feel like you can fit in. Just the West Coast period. I remember the first time we went to LA, it just was everybody together, and it wasn't like, a big thing. Like you could tell that was like part of the culture. And that was one of the things that I like. So I think when people think of Las Vegas as a destination, it's more of a international place because it's the entertainment capital of the world. I mean, we got some other people that's competing, but for pretty much, it's the entertainment capital of the world, not the entertainment capital of just the U.S. So if you gon' still live in U.S., you probably, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, might as well
it
come
might
on over
be,
here.
You know, the best option. So today I want to break down. So it's not just, there's
Stay
three
focused.
things that I want to talk about today.
Yes.
So why are so many people moving away from the United States or thinking about moving away from the United States? And then what it means to be, this is like a new word, it's called an expat.
Yeah.
And then the last thing
An
is
expatriate, by the way.
yeah. And the last part is if all of us should have a plan B country. So those are the three things that I want to talk about. So let's talk about people who are leaving.
Okay.
So I did a little research and I asked the question, how many Americans leave the U.S. per year? So if people are leaving somewhere, the place that people are leaving is probably not trying to give as much information as possible because they want to be looked in a great light. But the U.S. government doesn't formally track how many Americans leave the U.S., but the most recent estimate puts the figure at nearly 9 million. So this figure represents...
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
350 million people live here. 9 million have left.
Yep. So this figure represents a doubling of the 1999 figure placed at 4.1 million. So it's definitely on the incline, not a decline. So more people are moving away from the United States than they were 25 years ago.
This is the not so fun fact. I just
Dang,
said that.
remember we
That's
was like talking
2.5%.
about Cash Money taking over for the 99 and 2000.
2000.
That was 25 years ago.
Dang.
Oh, man.
Did we ever take over for that?
So those are people that actually did it. There's no way to track how many people are thinking about it, how many people have a plan for the near or far
And these people
future.
have left. These are expats.
Yeah, people who left.
So not dual citizenship.
Yeah.
Not, those who are digital nomads. Remember that back in the day?
Yeah.
Digital nomads.
Yeah.
These are people that have actually left the U.S.
So let's define what exactly is an expat, because you have an expat, you have people that have dual citizenship, and then you have what people define as immigrant. So even for me, when I looked it up, I was like, oh, okay, expat is different. It's not dual citizenship and it's not immigrant. So an expat or expatriate is a person who resides outside their country of citizenship. So it's a person who resides outside their country of citizenship, but an expat is, it refers to a professional, skilled worker, or a student from an affluent country. It also refers to retirees, artists, and other individuals who have chosen to live outside of their native country. An expat is different because they typically reside abroad temporarily for work, study, or personal reasons. So it's not like, F this, I'm out of here and I'm never coming back. Yeah. It's I've seen some things that make me want to leave for a little bit. So it's not, it could be permanent, but an expat, the definition is somebody who lives abroad temporarily. So it may be business, job, work, study, or personal reasons.
So it would be different if I met the love of my life and he lives in, I don't know, Japan, and I leave and I become a Japanese citizen and stuff. That's not the same thing. That's not an expat?
So you technically, by definition, you would go from an expat to an immigrant.
Okay.
So an immigrant is we moving. So when I think about, like when I watched The Godfather, when all the people came from Sicily and Italy and they just moved their families, like packed up.
They had no plan. They just moved.
Yeah, like they
we're gonna be here forever now.
Yeah.
So a lot of people.
That's interesting.
Go from being an expat to being a citizen or a dual citizen or an immigrant from somewhere else. So that's actually what an expat is. Because just like here, before we moved to Las Vegas, we came here. I did a bunch of research.
Yes.
Then
a bunch of research.
we got married. I did more research, and we came on our anniversary.
Yeah.
Right. So we came one time, and then we came another time. Then we started coming twice a year. Then 3 times a year, and then we finally moved. That's kind of like what being an expat is. So you may go somewhere. Like, I'm going to go over here for 1 month, and then you may come back and you may go again for 3 months or whatever, or decide that, hey, this is somewhere that I really want to be, or you could be there for a while, depending on the country, and never change your citizenship. So it depends on the place that you're going to. Yeah, so that's what the definition of expat is. So I thought expat was like,
I thought it was when you change your citizenship.
it's not.
And
it's not when you forget this country, I'm out of here, give me citizenship somewhere else. By definition, that's what an expat is. Yep.
Well, we got a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. Okay. So let's keep going.
So the top 5 reasons. So these are the reasons why people are leaving the U.S. or thinking about leaving the U.S.
Okay.
So the number one thing, well, I don't want to say the number one, but one of the top 5 is the political climate. So we seen what happened when they stormed the Capitol on January 6th in 2021. So if you maybe you live under a rock, or maybe younger, or you just don't know. So there was a big thing on January 6th, 2021 in the U.S. Where the FBI estimates in between 2,000 and 2,500 people entered the Capitol building on January 6th with some vandalizing, looting, including the office of the then House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi.
Somebody died.
Other Congress members. So we've seen what happened before. So the political climate is, there was a big uproar the last election, and the same thing could potentially be happening again.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I wonder if there's always an uptick in, people that want to exit the country during presidential
like election.
Yeah, during election years. I wonder. We need a political
back in 4 years.
Yeah, or like this is when they're like they decide like, you know what, I can't do this anymore, or whatever. They don't like the political climate that much that maybe there's an uptick of expats, dual citizenship, or people that exit the country during presidential elections. I wonder, or whoever won versus whoever lost, if there's an uptick.
I'm going to say I think.
I need somebody that's in politics.
This is not on facts, but I think no.
You don't think so?
Here's why.
Okay.
I was just watching, this has nothing to do with politics, but I was just watching the Juneteenth thing with Kendrick Lamar. And he had a concert.
Ooh-wee.
And he had all these like gang members, artists and stuff, and it was like unity. But I thought about the Bloods and the Crips. And the Bloods and the Crips are kind of like Democrats and Republicans. Like, you think it's dumb to fight over a color, but a lot of people like that are in that life, they're so involved in that life, they don't be like, man, forget this. I'm getting out of here.
Well, no, I'm not even necessarily saying. I'm not even necessarily saying that it would be, if the Republicans win, then all the blues out of here, or if Democrats win, then Republicans are like, I'm out of here. I'm just saying, in general, I wonder if there's a lot of U.S. citizens. I wonder if there's an uptick in U.S. citizens exiting the country during presidential elections, or once a president has been elected. I just wonder.
Well, the thing about it is, especially lately, it's not so much like I don't like that guy. It's that guy is actively working against my lifestyle.
Right.
So I think that lately it would be more likely like, hey, maybe I should go because people like me aren't safe if a certain individual is in power.
Elected, yeah.
So
I mean, that's
might be
that's
different.
real, and it's gotten, man, these. Oh, gone are the days when Obama where it was like, yes, we can. You know what I'm saying? Like, gone are the days where it was just like, we actually, I mean, it was still crazy during Obama times too. But then you had this blatant, racial tension that was for 4 years.
No, I got a caveat. This is Obama, to me, this is Obama 2.0. Because, in my opinion, you see the breaking down of what's more important. Democrat, Republican, red or blue, one side. But the reason why, in my opinion, the reason why President Obama was able to be the president and win, get the votes or whatever, is because he had the culture. He had a rock star personality. Hollywood liked him. Different races liked him. He was a cool dude. Like, whether he was a great politician or good, morally compass, he's just like a cool dude that you would like. He's probably like, the only other president I can think of was like maybe Ronald Reagan, because Ronald Reagan was an actor, or John Kennedy or something like that.
After him, it was
no.
opposite.
He got somebody else that the people love him.
Yeah, so Donald Trump has culture. He has the people. So
they can't get enough.
Yeah, if you got that culture, if you got the culture,
they passing
it
out,
trumps the Democrat, Republican, red, blue stuff. So just like Obama had a coach, he has a cultural following. He's like a rock star. Same thing with Donald Trump. Donald Trump has a culture. They don't care if Donald Trump was made up something you never heard of. Mm-hmm. He has a cultural
beating seals.
Yeah,
like, hey.
He's like, great, everybody, great.
Yeah, so I think that a lot of people, because they didn't like that, there was probably a certain number of people that hated or didn't like Obama. That's when they thought about it too. So I think it.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder if there's an uptick.
The people who are down for the cause, they love politics.
If you're in politics, let us know.
They love to argue. They ain't about to leave this. They love it too much. There's some people that just sit around all day and just talk about politics, and they'll sit and argue with you over all this stuff. Yeah, but she not like
your grandma be
politics
watching.
every day.
She love Obama too.
Yeah, she loved Obama. I think my grandma had a little crush. I think she had a little crush on Obama.
She loved
and OJ. Obama
she
and OJ.
You should have called her when he passed. That's what you should have did.
She might have been a little sad. She watched that OJ trial every day.
Oh, yeah.
Court TV. She watched that OJ trial every single day.
She was a fan of OJ.
But anyways, so the political climate. So
what's the next one though?
A lot of people believe if the right person doesn't win, something else like January 6th will happen.
That was
crazy. A
lot
lot of people fear like a world war situation, period. So they like,
you mean civil?
No, like a world war.
Well, because if this is world war, where are people gonna go?
Well, no, there's a lot of places that don't.
Y'all do what y'all I'm headed to Switzerland. Actually, Switzerland picked a side.
Yeah, so
they just picked a side.
So as far as that, the whole attacking thing, it was not just on the Capitol, but a lot of people viewed it as an attack on democracy and rule of law. So they like, if this gonna be a lawless country, I'm out. I need to find somewhere else.
Sure. Okay. All right. So that's one. So number 2 is the flexibility or international experience. So this got heightened after COVID because all of us had to shelter in place, be at home. So many people have converted to work from home jobs. So they got jobs where they could work from home or work from anywhere. And then also budding entrepreneurs and business owners have started or converted their businesses to businesses that aren't geography defined to one area. So our real estate side of our business is kind of defined geographically to one area because our license is in this state. But we could go in any city, unless that country doesn't allow you to like own property. True. You can sell real estate in any country. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because Remax, Keller Williams. I'd like to sell in Dubai.
A lot of these companies are international. I know Remax and Keller Williams are in a lot of countries.
Yeah.
Actually,
there's a KW in Dubai.
I think so. Yeah, I think Remax and Keller Williams is one of the top.
Denise Williams is in Dubai. Black owned, woman owned brokerage. first black-owned woman-owned brokerage in Dubai, and she is killing it. And she now lives in Dubai. Her and her son, they moved from Atlanta, and I think she still has her Atlanta brokerage too.
She does.
That she's running. So she has moved completely over in Dubai, and she's building her business out there, and I think that's fabulous.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, if you got a Amazon store or you buy your stuff on Alibaba and you can put it online and you do the what?
I don't know. It's just
What?
when you get to going, it's kind of funny.
These are actual.
I know, but I'm
What you
just
mean?
saying, like, you buy your stuff on out, like, just.
I'm giving people business keys. Jen, back me up. People buying stuff. That's a whole business model.
Actually, Jen,
They
you
buy
were.
stuff on
I
Alibaba.
know, but I'm just saying, like.
You act like I be talking like
I'm not.
nonsense. Like this is like a million people's business model, and you
It
like
is, but you got really specific, and it started to get funny to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the thing is, the sun is setting on a lot of these, we don't need you in the office anymore positions. So
They're saying, come on back.
yes, they are saying come back. So a lot of people are moving along the way that Jameen is saying, like, okay, well, maybe I can do my own thing so I
Yeah.
can still be mobile and I can still go to, I don't know.
Remote jobs.
That's right.
Remote. Yeah. I'm just saying, you got really specific in what you were talking about, and it was kind of funny. And
that's because I do my research.
You do.
And look at different business models and companies that provide these services and products.
You do. Okay. So you got creatives, you got artists that they're able to do what they do in
Yep.
different countries as well.
And that's a big thing too. So that's actually a huge part of a lot of what you would consider an expat. Because I even think about like Kanye West. So like Kanye West, when he goes into like really focused mode, and a lot of recording artists do this. So like I thought about when Kanye West recorded Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, he recorded that whole album in like Hawaii. And then when they were creating Vultures, he was over in the Middle East. He was over in Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia and places like that. So a lot of artists get inspiration, whether it be, painters, sculptors, music artists, authors. A lot of artists get inspiration being in other places. So like you hear a lot of artists saying, I went to such and such for a year and created this book. So
I think I need a different example because I still feel like Kanye's best stuff came out of a Chicago basement.
here you go. Here we go.
Hey,
That's another
college
podcast
dropout,
topic for
college,
another day.
Yeah, graduation. Those were my
basement.
favorite. Still my favorite. I agree, but
Sure.
when you have the money, you could just go.
No, but you think about
To
about this.
Abu Dhabi
You got to
and
think about
record.
this. The biggest like comeback album before all the super huge polarizing you should cancel Kanye West things when the Taylor Swift thing happened. People was like really trying to cancel Kanye, so he went away to another country and like blocked that all out and created what Kanye West fans or a lot of musical people think like one of his best albums was that album, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
I don't even. What song came out on that one?
Power. It was like the one with Devil in the Blue Dress. Yeah.
All
Anyways,
right.
all the music heads know.
Sorry. I still like.
You know the
Culture
one
Rap.
song I play on the keyboard, Runaway?
The one song.
Well,
that you
I'm
play
not
on that
a
daggum
keyboard player.
that I
Good
bought.
grief.
You told me to buy that for you for Christmas. That thing, I have dusted that thing more than you have played it. I'm just saying.
Got a lot of things to do. A lot of research and service and products because clearly somebody else ain't doing it,
I'm just saying. Okay, so the other reason is, and that's because
Well, I got one more example.
Oh,
So this is not
this not in your notes.
just an expat thing.
not in the
No,
docket.
But J.K. Rowling, she was talking about how like she was broke and all this stuff. She sat in a coffee shop and created her book, and that was like she just went in her focus mode and she wrote a whole like
Harry Potter
Harry Potter
series.
in a book. So a lot of the books and albums and paintings and stuff that you see came from expatness.
Well, when I wrote my book, I just went to coffee shops.
Right.
Speaking of book, make sure you go get my book. It's called Before You Buy, Read This. And it's all about not just the home buying process and getting you ready for the home buying process and walking you through the home buying process, but it's also about the mind shift that you need. You need a certain mindset in order to be a homeowner, in order to go through this home buying journey that nobody is talking about. But I have served a lot of my clients out there. This book is actually dedicated to them because I have walked with them through so many instances and so many things. And so I put it all and compiled it all into this book, Before You Buy, Read This. You can check it out at the website, beforeyoubuy.readthis.com. Right now it is on pre-sale. The books get shipped out July 1st. Trust me, you do not want to miss out. All right, go check it out. All right.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. Look at you plugging and everything today. Shoot.
Did it. Thanks, Jen.
All right.
I'm excited.
So,
all right.
Let's look at some of these other reasons. Next reason is the weakening of the U.S. dollar. I would also say that with it's not really invention, but with the rise of cryptocurrency, people are looking at moving because the U.S. dollar is actually super duper threatened on being dethroned as the world's currency.
Yeah.
So you got the whole Brexit, you got people breaking away from the central banking, and a lot of that is more possible with Bitcoin,
decentralized, currency,
Ethereum, decentralized currency, but also
we should get someone on to talk about crypto. Wouldn't that be interesting?
yeah, it's just like people are like waiting to see what's gonna happen with crypto right now. So we need to find like a diehard. We need to find out who Satoshi, whatever his name is. Like,
So there's a guy that I follow on social media who's a crypto king
Guru.
and he lives out here. So thank you for giving me a reason to reach out. I'm like, hey, so you want to be on the pod?
Yes.
I'll ask.
Bring him on the potty. We've got to talk.
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know that we call it that.
Yeah. Come to the potty.
Come to the potty.
Okay.
So ever since
house.
1943 or something like that, don't at me if I don't have the right year.
Okay.
But ever since they took the U.S. dollar from being backed by gold, the U.S. dollar has been weakened and it's gone down in value more and more. So the best way I can describe the U.S. dollar not being backed by gold anymore is like now the government or a person can write a check and not have that money in the account.
Correct.
So back before, when the dollar was backed by gold, it was like you having that money in the bank. So now you literally just
Now we're writing checks that are
just
tushies can't cash.
Yeah, pieces of paper. So the U.S. dollar is weakened, and then there's countries that are banding together, and they are getting away from the central banking system. And a lot of people don't know. A lot of like wars and people that they say did these things and people died is behind people trying to break away from
Greed,
central banking.
money.
Well, it's also
Control.
and control. It's really more control than anything. And then also, as far as like the weakening of the U.S. dollar, I think that just like we don't know how many people are thinking or planning on moving from the U.S.
Yeah.
I think that for decades, well, I know, but I don't have proof. Other countries for decades have been looking at the U.S. like, we tired of getting bullied by y'all. We were gonna do something about this, and they've been like secretly planning. And now we're catching on later on, like, oh shoot, y'all done built up a whole Abu Dhabi and all another city, and we got a Vegas over here. You know what I mean? So it's like they've been secretly planning like to get back at U.S. because we were kind of looked at like the bullies like throwing our weight around in the world with politics, military. We had the strongest military. Everybody was using our dollar, and so they like, nah, bro, we done stepped our game up. You know what I mean? So I think that's plays a big part in it too.
Yeah. No, this is why I think it's so important to just you gotta observe things past your own nose.
Yeah.
We live in a global society now, and I'm not gonna put them out there, but we had a conversation with a Black-owned brokerage.
Oh, yeah.
And he was just so adamant about like, well, you need to bring your license over here. You need to, put your, you need to like, black dollar. And I'm like, sir, I just smiled at him. Because at this point, like, I'm not about to sit here and argue with you. Like, it's dumb. But, it was such small-minded thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for
the dollar spend too.
Right. Yeah. I'm all for building the Black dollar. I'm all for building generational wealth in the Black community. We're all about that. But if you're not thinking globally, like you have to make decisions and make moves that are larger than where you are. And it was just weird.
Yeah,
I was like,
and
sir.
to piggyback off of that wasn't even a power move because if it was such an advantage, you wouldn't even have to say that to us. We would already know.
I would have been coming to you.
We would have been coming to you. So
I don't know.
That's like one of my reasons, and one of the things that I look at is if I'm gonna make a move, like in that direction, it's gonna be like super duper power move.
Yeah. And the last thing you want to do when you're talking to me is insult me and insult my intelligence. You don't know me.
Yeah.
So that was like really dumb on his part, to say what he was saying. But I was gracious and I listened. But it was
I'm gonna have to get the tea after the show.
Because we ain't gonna put another Black business out there. We're not gonna do it.
We keep things positive.
Yeah, we try to keep things positive. But I'm telling you, I was like, oh, yeah, that is the dumbest thing. And if that is how you try to recruit people, that's not smart either.
That's kind of how the U.S. is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, stay over here.
We're the biggest
and best. But actually, no, if you go other places.
You gotta chill.
I think the U.S. does that. They capitalize off of the lack of people being able to travel and experience other countries. Because if you watch TV, you still think, oh, yeah, we're the greatest country in the world. We have the best this and the best that. So I'm even doing research on cars. Like the U.S. Motown been gone. You know what I mean? So even cars, they're like, China is like moving up with all these cars. They got the blah, blah, blah of this.
Yeah.
So I think the
like
US,
walk softly but carry a big stick. I can't remember what president that was. But he always said, we're going to walk softly but carry a big stick. Basically like a bully.
Yeah, that's
we have
the
to.
U.S. has been.
We got to think more
globally
than that. You have to be more collaborative than that. You got to make moves because not everybody is watching this podcast that live in Las Vegas, that live in Nevada, that even live in this nation.
Absolutely,
we would be dumb to think that only people that are watching this is in just this nation. We have to begin to, if you haven't already, you have to begin to start thinking globally and making moves as such. When now, especially, you can work for a company and not even, go to their headquarters, to your point, where people are working remotely. They don't even have to be at the headquarters anymore. Yeah. They could, be in a totally different time zone than where than where the headquarters is. So when you think about that and you think about, the global marketplace, like that's huge. That is huge. And we got to start thinking bigger. Anyway, I know I got off on a tangent.
So one of the things that's different now, so I know that the numbers they calculated from 1999 to now. And the difference is all of this internet access and all of this individual social sharing. So the propaganda doesn't work the same when I know a guy that's
That
in
can
this
tell me
other
what's
place
going on. Yes.
and has his phone and is showing me on live stream what's going on.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the propaganda doesn't hit the same.
That's the truth. That is the truth.
The divide
Remember
and
the Sandy
conquer
Hook
doesn't
thing
work.
where they were using the same images from another disaster, and God bless those families and those kids, because that actually really did happen. But the stories that they were curating, that the news was curating, were images from that people were Googling, and they were saying, "Wait a minute, we saw this lady's face, same exact face, same outfit, everything on another." Like unrelated incident. And so it was starting to poke holes in, like you said, this propaganda, or this news that things are not always what they seem.
Yeah. So all of
Very
those
interesting.
places that other people might have described as a poop hole country.
Yes.
But
all
you
of a
got somebody
sudden-
on the ground that again is live streaming, and
Yes.
it's like it's not so bad over there. What you talking about?
Exactly. And that's really been cool, because you talk about Las Vegas being a melting pot. We've met so many people from different parts of the world.
Well, we never did that before.
Yeah, we
Until we moved
never, Cincinnati is very much, Midwest, and you see things as black and white, and that's it. There are things that I've never tasted before until I got here, and I love that. I love that for us, and I love that for our children, because my kids have friends from different cultures.
Yeah.
My kids never knew people from Hawaii or the Pacific Asian Islander area, anything like that. So now they can taste musubi and all that stuff, and they're like, "This is great." But to your point, the fact that we were able to just even move out of the city or out of our state into a different state and experience other things, and you talk to people, and they're like, "Yeah, we've got friends. They have houses in 3-4 different countries."
Yeah.
And we're like, "What? Oh my
Yep.
goodness. I didn't know." They're like, "That's normal. That is actually normal." Okay, so keep going,
All right.
because we can keep talking about this.
So we talked about a little bit about that, but the next thing is to connect with culture or your nationality. Now, this is huge for Black people, because the biggest issue is we don't have a culture like I talked about
But
earlier.
we do. The African American culture, we do have a culture. Is it recognized?
No, but you
No.
can't trace it back. Like I watched The Godfather and the Corleone family. They changed their last name because that was the town that they were from.
Yes.
And when Michael Corleone
Well, we know why we got our last names.
got into trouble, but when he got into trouble, he was able to be an expat and go back to Italy.
Because he knew where to go.
Because
Because he knew where to go. He
Yeah.
knew where his family was from. A lot of us, we don't know where we come from. We know our families might have been ex-slaves or maybe not. A lot of people are doing ancestry and things like that and finding out
Yeah.
they from somewhere in some islands. They not from...
I do have a funny story though. I met this man, and he said, I said, "Oh, my name's Nicci." He said, "Oh, okay," or Nicci Willis. He was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Willis." He's like, "That's a German last name." I said, "Yeah, probably so." Like, I don't doubt that at all. So.
Yeah. So for Black people, a lot of people are looking to connect with culture. I know they have a big wave in Africa, and especially Ghana, where they're telling people to come back home.
Nigeria too.
We welcome you back. A lot of places in Africa and a lot of islands, they love their culture, like especially like, not to say like other people are mean or things like that, and this is just my personal observation, but like moving here, I've run into so many like Hawaiian people, and they just have like a nice, they just jolly, they nice people, from tenants to people I did business with.
Yeah.
And it's like when you think about Hawaii, you think about like being on vacation, you think about, you know what I mean, things like that. So
That aloha spirit.
yeah, that aloha
Yeah.
spirit. Yeah, I haven't met anything can happen, but I'm just saying that's my personal experience. But a lot of people want to connect with the culture that they thought that they
Where they come from. Yeah.
Or they've had an experience where they've been on vacation and they really liked it. Like one of my favorite authors, Wayne Dyer.
Mm-hmm.
He's from the U.S., but he moved to Fiji. And he wrote his books and he lived his life out there, being on the beach and things like that. So a lot of people move from the U.S. to connect with culture because a lot of countries are like a totally different vibe culturally than the U.S. and things that are like commonplace could be more conducive to your lifestyle or how you want to live your everyday life. So a lot of people want to live the beach life or, just a different cultural things are a lot different than the United States. The last thing is a lot of people just want a fresh start. I mean, for me, like when my mom passed in 2005, I was like, yeah, I totally can leave Ohio. Like, if you have like that matriarch, that key figure in your family, a lot of times somebody will pass. Or if you have like a traumatic experience in life or you close a business or something, some people just want a fresh start, and moving to another state just is not enough or not far enough. Or some people like, if I'm going to move, I'm going to move. Some people just want a fresh start in life. And moving to another country is sure enough a fresh start.
Sure.
So those are like the top 5 reasons. Honorable mentions is a lot of other countries other than the U.S., even if you go to like Canada, they have universal or free healthcare. Yeah. And for some people, that's a big thing. A lot of people have health conditions, health issues, and the cost of healthcare has gone up so much, and especially if you have medical bills and things like that, a lot of countries have universal or free healthcare to where when we say universal, it's like if you go and you have government healthcare versus private healthcare, there's a big disparity in the quality. And even though here in Las Vegas we talk about we don't have the best like healthcare, if something's majorly wrong, you need to go to California or Arizona to go see a specialist. So when I say universal, I mean it's not like based on, you make this amount of money so you can get good healthcare, and you make low amount of money so you're going to get bad healthcare. So universally means you still get the top.
Best.
The best.
Everybody gets the best.
Yep.
So there are also a lot of places where college costs little to nothing.
Yeah.
So it's very expensive to get higher education in the U.S. Like, granted, there are scholarships and stuff, but if you go someplace where you could just walk in and it doesn't cost you too much of anything, then that's an option too. So for people who whose kids are coming up on that age, maybe you would want to go for a couple of years.
Now, I know y'all about to talk about me, and yes, this is one of those. Oh, no. Y'all think we about to get canceled things.
Oh,
Don't get canceled. Babe, like, so you know ahead of time.
Think about it.
This is facts. This is facts, though. But this is facts. I'm just going to say they. They said that Muammar Gaddafi was like this horrible person, and he had to go and all this stuff. I did my research on Gaddafi. People went to college for free. Healthcare was free.
What country was this?
Liberia.
There you go.
And so let's just take Liberia for example. People went to college for free. Healthcare was free, but they said this dude is a dictator. He has to go. But also, he was trying to break away from central banking. So, was he a dictator, a bad guy, or was it, the control thing? But that's just an example of, hey, in Liberia, you don't have to pay for college. Yeah. You don't have to pay for health care.
Are they still doing that now?
I don't know.
We'd have to know. Oh, yeah. Okay. We'd have to find out. But that wasn't cancelable. Good job, baby.
But y'all, when I break facts out to y'all,
my stomach
groundbreaking. You're like, think about it. So, anyways,
my heart just sinks into my leg.
So the second honorable mention is a better quality of food. Now, I'm one person that I'm trying to see what that's all about, because
I want to know the difference in McDonald's.
Yeah,
that's what I want to know.
But
because the McDonald's out here, it's McDowell's out here. McDonald's out here is definitely McDowell's because
so a better quality of food. So I even found out like over in France and places where like French bread, like real bread is more popular. It's not processed the way that it's processed here.
Yeah.
And somebody like me that has a gluten intolerance, it's not exactly the gluten, it's the way that they process the flour. And so even if you aren't gluten intolerant, it's more
it's gonna mess you up anyway.
digestible the way that they make the food out there, so it doesn't have the preservatives. And there's like,
can you imagine
there's like
not having the gluten issues that you have out here?
Oh man, that would be wild. But it's like 12.
That would be good for
It's
me
like
too.
12 ingredients that only the U.S. uses in foods that's like illegal in a whole bunch of other countries.
Like Mountain
Because
Dew
they have
is
to prop
illegal
up that expensive
in Europe.
healthcare industry.
Yeah.
They have to hold it up.
Yeah.
Well,
So if I'm feeding you something
That's
that's,
gonna send you to
making
the
you
doctor,
sick,
that they
then
can
the
write a script
doctors,
on it.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole thing about political. They want to keep you going back and forth instead of saying, "Oh, forget this political system."
And we've already talked about food deserts here and
Yep.
all that stuff.
They like keep drinking the Mountain Dew and the red dye and yellow and all that stuff. So you
Mountain
can go
Dew
to the
is
doctor.
literally like banned in certain countries.
You know what was
Banned.
wild for me? I looked at
it's
how
green.
much.
It's
I looked
green.
at how much sugar I should be intaking per day,
Yeah.
and it's like half a can of pop.
Yeah.
That's how much sugar you should have all day.
Yep. And some people, I worked
That's-
with this lady that had she would drink 2 Mountain Dews a day, like the big gulp ones.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, I'd just be looking at her like, my God. She was a mean lady too. But
Yeah, so it's fresh food, it's organic food, it's
yeah.
food that
I
doesn't
told you, I'm
have
trying to get my
ban-
garden back together. I just gotta figure it
banned
out.
preservatives. And I even been looking at
Okay, first
stuff-
of all, I just want to say Jen just looked out my window and was
here we
like,
go.
how? Where?
You know, here at Home
Where?
with the Willises, we've become accustomed to our what's the daughter from the Cosby Show that just changes careers and different things that she wants to
Who
do
is that,
all the
Vanessa?
time.
No, that was
Denise?
Denise. My wife comes with a different idea. It's not her main thing, but it's definitely the second thing. She's been a gardener, a seamstress,
Are you out me
all
right here
kind
to
of
the
things.
people?
I welder,
have different interests. First of all,
Avon lady. I mean,
I did almost fix that TV. I needed
She bought her
solder.
solder and she tried to
You didn't
fix
get her
our
solder
TV.
from Amazon. You could have
She
got
bought
the
her
solder.
solder and some solder and iron. She snapped
I
that
was ready to
TV
fix that
off
TV.
one time.
It's fine. I did. That one was unsuccessful, but you have worn things that I have created.
I still got
I
some.
have-
I got some Marvel Comics PJs.
Thank you.
actually kinda fire. The shape is a
me
little
like this.
weird. They're a little.
Well, you done washed them. You were supposed to hang them when you washed them. That was your
hang them.
problem.
Okay.
But
all
I'm
right.
just
yeah,
saying.
the shape is a little off. They're like a bohemian joint. They're like loose.
And
some areas
you
they got a little
had-
tie. Ain't no elastic. It's just a tie.
I grew lemon balm successfully.
You did. I had a wonderful cup of lemon
That's
balm
right.
tea one time.
My tomatoes were top notch.
I don't like.
I'm
tomatoes.
talking, give me my ribbon. They were that good. Basil. I was out there. I grew a watermelon, a little baby watermelon. I have a green thumb. I just don't know how green it is out here in the desert, which I gotta figure that out.
So back when when Yahoo was still like real popular, I was doing a Yahoo chat with this guy, and he was from. Make sure I got my country right. Paraguay.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was telling me like I was just telling him I was in real estate and stuff like that, and he was telling me like, yeah, if you come over here, you could spend like $25,000 and you will get a house with like all this acreage and a farm and animals on it for like $25,000.
If I can get a llama, because you know I talked about getting a llama
and
farm.
it was over in South America, and I'm like, dang man, I need to just put 20 grand over here and get a house with a little farm and stuff like that. I'm all about that because I was fortunate to grow up in a family where my dad's side of the family, they country, like red clay dirt
yes.
town, small town. So
Hence
literally,
where we got the name Willis.
yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So in my family's backyard, we had 2 farms. So we had a farm on one side of this little street, and we had another farm on the other side of the street. But we had a farm in the back, and we had a fishing lake with fish and pigs, horses, watermelons,
They were
tomatoes,
like farmers.
greens. Yeah, like real farmers. Like I have a cousin still to this day that raises cattle, and he sells cows for like $8,000 a piece. So
Come on, Bessie.
that's more like
go.
the self-sufficiency. Back in the day, you could be like self-sufficient if
Yeah.
you wanted to. You could grow your own stuff. Even animals, you could have that. Now it'd be a little wild trying to do that here in Las Vegas.
I think they need somebody to sell the farms too, though, to buy and sell those
the land?
transactions.
No, but here's the problem with the United States. We've made everything so commercial. They put all these small-time farmers out of business.
Yeah.
And now
So they pay them
the
to not
farmer,
work.
yeah. So now the farmers done had to they've had to sell their farms to these big corporations. Now they work for the corporations on something that they sold, or their main client is a corporation. So now they have to conform to, man, go ahead and inject this crap into these chickens so we can get them bigger. Take them out of the range-free stuff so we can make this money.
Like cage-free is not even what y'all think.
Yeah, so the organic, how they, even when you do organic, there's only like, it's almost like back in the day. Remember when you go to a restaurant back in the day and it was smoking and non-smoking areas?
Yes.
That's how organic and non-organic is. So half of the farm, all they do is they spray half of it with pesticides, and the other side is right there. It ain't like no big wall.
Sure,
You're
it's
still
not
getting a
on
little bit of
another
residue.
piece
So
of
right
land.
there, you still getting a little bit of the pesticides, and then it fades
But
out.
it's just enough so that
Just to
it
say
can be
you can
deemed and said
deemed organic.
Organic.
So that's why a lot of people are moving too, because you can actually like that Paraguay place, you can actually have a house with farm and be more self-sufficient. Not saying there aren't places here in the United States where you can do it, but it's not as corporate has not taken
Listen,
over.
get a vineyard. Who want a vineyard?
Oh shoot, here we go.
That would be
Now,
yes.
she trying to be a winery. You think you Gary Vanderchuck,
Willis
Gary V
Vines.
now?
That's a good name. Willis Vines.
I like it.
Thank you. Thank you, Jan.
All right, moving on. So, people are moving away from the U.S. Where are they going? Okay. So this is everybody, and this is like the general
I love when you do this part.
Google part.
The stats.
Stats, yeah.
It's kind of
Where are people going? 40% of people opt for the Western Hemisphere. So that's Canada, Central, and South America.
Okay.
Now, this made a lot of sense to me, because if you're going to be an expat and it may not be permanent, or you're not sure yet,
Sure.
you're going to be somewhere outside of the country, but close to where you could come back.
Come on back. That's
So
true.
North America, South America. Canada's right on top of the U.S.
Yeah.
And also, if something is wrong, you need to go quickly. That's the next neighboring countries.
Mm-hmm.
So,
We knew a couple that moved to Tulum.
yes.
They're thriving. They're doing well.
Yep. So 40% opt for the Western Hemisphere.
Black couple, by the way. Okay, go ahead.
26% move to Europe.
Hmm.
I'm gonna pause for a second, because it still gets cold in Europe. So
Well,
I'm
some
out.
people-
I know some people like it, but no, I
Some
don't
people
like
like all 4 seasons.
that. Yeah,
So that's okay.
cold and dark. No, 14.
But I would let me check it out.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about. Here's the general list, and we're
Okay.
gonna talk about our list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
So
It's getting good.
26 people moved to Europe. 14% head to East Asia and the Pacific. So when you say that, think Australia, New Zealand, as well as China and Japan. For
Okay.
me, the language is out. Like, if I can't communicate with people,
I thought we was gonna talk about that after.
if I haven't learned, I'm just saying, I'm just
Okay.
pausing for a second.
Okay.
That would be a hard pause for me, the Asia part, because China, Japan, like, I don't know none of those, and it would take me a while. I barely know English well, so 14% head to the Middle East.
Okay.
3%.
That's what I'm thinking. Dubai, Abu Dhabi. Okay.
But you got to talk about that, though. We're going to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
So we can pause right now. So 14% head to the Middle East. Here's the thing. Like Africa and the Middle East, Abu Dhabi, United Immigrants, and Dubai, they have specifically built their infrastructure in cities upon people moving there. They want people to move there, and they want people to travel there. And because they have a plan, a lot of the people speak English because they're deliberately, like intentionally trying to get people over there versus, hey, our place is nice, but you need to come learn the language if you want to come live here or move here.
Okay.
So there's a difference there. 3%.
That's higher than I would have thought.
Yeah. 3% travel to Central or South Asia, and 3% choose Africa. Okay?
That's us.
That's the overall people who leave the
I'm
US.
just saying that's black people.
Now, we were just talking about a card game
Okay,
called.
right.
We were just talking about a card game before the podcast called Black Card Revolt, right? This is the blacklist right here.
Oh, okay.
So the blacklist is
Where
most of the African American black people
are moving.
are going.
Okay.
Yep. So South America. So we talked about that before. That's probably like the easiest pivot because it's close to the United States.
Central and South America.
Yeah. So Mexico
Central.
City.
Okay.
Jen, help me out. Is
Playa del Carmen.
Playa del Carmen. Lisbon in Portugal. I know. I've talked to probably.
Is that Lisbon or Lisbon?
Lisbon? Yeah, Lisbon.
There we go.
I know like 5 people that I talked to since living here that either moved to Portugal or visit there and they think about moving there. So
Okay.
that's real.
I'll go visit.
South America, Brazil,
Colombia.
and Colombia. Africa is huge in the black community. So Ghana, specifically Accra, Accra, Ghana, and then there's a place called Dakar in Senegal, where a lot of people are moving, and that's like what I was saying. That's intentional because Accra and Ghana as a whole, they're specifically saying, "Hey, we want black people, we want African Americans to move here."
Specifically, though, they're like, we want affluent, professional.
Of course, yeah, they want the cream of the crop.
They sure do.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, though, that's interesting.
But no,
because-
it's not, because you know what? You better be affluent or interesting to move over to
These other countries.
Yeah, that you can't
Yeah.
go over. You gotta have a reason to be over there, or they don't
Yes,
want you.
or
Like
they
Abu
will-
Dhabi and stuff.
Abu Dhabi, they will
You gotta
kick
have
The
a
U.S.
job
is the same way.
or
The
business.
U.S., if you apply and you're like, look, my name is Joe and I just want to be here, they're like, well, are you a scientist? Are you
this?
a
Are you that?
engineer? Are you
Yeah.
a like what? Why do we need you?
That makes sense. I mean, I'm not mad at it. Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
I'm not either. Like, come on to do something.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So,
But we're talking about
Senegal.
expats, though.
Yeah, Senegal,
They're asking these
Ghana,
things
Accra, and then also Thailand, Bangkok.
That's interesting.
And then there's the Middle East. We personally know several people actually.
Yep. We've got clients that live in Abu Dhabi.
UAE, Dubai, and Abu Dhabi are the three major places. And like they took, y'all don't at me again. The UAE, Dubai, and Abu Dhabi took all the money that they made from oil, and they specifically built these cities up for what they're doing right now.
Long game.
Yeah, so they got
Long game.
the clothes, they got the shopping, they got the nightlife, they got English speaking employees, because they want to build up that tourists and people moving over to the Middle East.
Yeah.
And for some reason, we like it over there. So I was talking to people, and one of the big things that they told me, like I was talking to somebody, and they said that if you go to it was NYU Abu Dhabi, you can go to college for free.
Yep. And to your point, Jen,
Yep.
to your point,
And the healthcare, they had top-notch healthcare. If something is wrong with you, they don't treat you different because you make less money than somebody else. So those are two things: the education and healthcare, either being the same or same quality or free, is a big draw in the Middle East. So the last is the islands. A lot of people are moving to Barbados,
Costa Rica.
I know somebody
And
personally that
Belize.
moved to Costa Rica
Who?
and
Do I
Belize.
know?
Yeah,
Who?
I'll tell you off air. I'll tell you off air. Yeah, he was actually trying to get me to buy into a hotel in Costa Rica.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, and Belize.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
Yep.
Really?
That's who you think it is.
Get out. Oh, okay.
And the last is Belize. So interesting fun fact about Belize is a rapper who basically took the fall for P. Diddy. He is high in government. Shine. Remember Shine? From Bad Boy?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
Wait, he took the rap for P. Diddy?
Oh my gosh, you need to catch up on your stuff.
Listen, I was minding my business trying to start my garden.
Gotta do everything around here. Yeah, when P. Diddy was dating J-Lo, they had the whole shooting in the club. They
Yes,
pinned
that
it.
rap. Because Diddy got a lot. Okay.
It's a
All
lot.
right.
So which one?
That's what I'm trying to say. But he is now in politics, yes?
Yeah, he's like
a
real
government-
high up in Belize. That's where he's from. His family, his dad
okay.
is in the
Yes, I do
politics and
remember
stuff
that.
out there.
Thank you very much.
Yep. So
All right.
Belize
Very
is a
cool.
place where people moving, and that's one place that have people haven't like saturated yet, or it's like like people feel like Atlanta is saturated. That's like one of those places like up and coming that people are moving.
Very cool.
So yeah, so you can do.
Okay. I got a question.
Go ahead.
I got a question to y'all, actually. And then we'll answer it too. How about that?
Okay.
Okay, so if you're going to have a plan B country, what would it be? Put it in the comments. We're going to answer ours. Jen, you gotta figure out what your plan B country is. What is your plan B country? Like if you were going to do dual citizenship, let's say we still here, but if you could spend 6 months somewhere else, where would it be? Okay, go.
All right.
You got to put it in the comments below because I want to know. I want to know where y'all are.
Thanks for stealing the thunder on my last question of the podcast.
Oops. You know what?
Did you
You're
even
right. I
read
didn't
what's on
read
front
it.
of your computer screen?
I didn't read the docket, okay? I'm sorry.
We tried so
But
hard.
it's a great
at Home With
segue
The
nonetheless. It's a great segue.
I thought you was building up to the question. I was like, no, she's not building.
I'm sorry.
You know, we're gonna freestyle here. We're gonna be like Biggie Smalls and
You know what? Just a
Jay-Z.
quick bullet
Just
point.
forget the docket.
I'm
just,
sorry.
Just go in here with our coffee
I just
mugs
felt like
and
it
just
was a
shoot the
really good
podcast.
segue. And obviously it is because there's the question right there.
Can you ask the people? Can we talk about it?
Yes.
So can you?
Well, I already did. I'm sorry for stealing your thunder. I
No,
did
it's
not
okay.
read the docket today, and I apologize.
So let's talk about this for just 1 second.
Okay.
Should we all have a plan B country? Now, just like we talk about entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
and starting a business and all this stuff, it's not for everybody because it's extremely hard to be a successful entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody.
We're learning
so
every day.
should all people have a plan B country? And the reason why I asked this question is just like starting a business is not for everybody. For some people, like I know some people that's literally never left their hometown before.
Yeah.
So to go from never leaving your hometown before to having a plan B country and just moving to, Portugal,
Yeah.
that's mentally, because you got to have a certain mentality to move. People looked at me like I was crazy before I got married and after I got married because I
did.
wanted to move to Las Vegas.
And I married you.
But here we are.
Yeah.
And a lot of things that we've done, we've accomplished more in like 3 or 4 years and living here than we have in like 30 years.
There's something to be said about changing your environment.
Yeah.
So should we have a plan B country?
I think for most people, it's because if you aren't informed, you should be more informed if you aren't informed on like what's going on, what could potentially happen, and then also what are your potential options. There's maybe another country that's more suitable for your lifestyle that you want to live or your lifestyle that you currently live. Just like I was looking at Ghana, it's 27 cedi on the dollar. The peso is 20 to 1 on the dollar. You can buy a mini mansion over in Accra, Ghana for the price of a starter home in Las Vegas. Yeah. So if you like a certain type of food or you have some allergies or medical conditions, another country could be extremely advantageous for you. Aside from all the political things and the scare of, are we about to have a world war or, you know, this political war and things like that. But just like moving, some people I'd be like, oh, no, you should stay put. You shouldn't move out of town because
you can't determine that.
No, some people don't have. You got to have the mentality because you know plenty of people living here that came and gone.
Dorothy from the Wiz, she never went past 121st Street.
Dorothy from the Wiz.
So here's my concern.
But then she got out. You see what I'm saying?
She did. She got out. But my concern is if I got all of the affluent black folks or the movers and shakers in our community and we all decided to go somewhere, but Sheila is left behind. Like now Sheila needs an exit plan because like what you gonna do? Like we all gone. You know?
Next man up. You better get your stuff together.
Here's what we have to be mindful of. And again, I just think it's, you know, what we've been fed by the media, which is interesting, and why you've messed up my algorithm is because this is people in different countries that have houses in different countries and all these other things. That's normal in other countries. I think we over here in the U.S., we think it's so anti-American
because of that propaganda.
It's so anti-American to have dual citizenship in a couple of different countries, to own properties in a couple of different countries. It messes with your mind to say, oh, well, yeah, I can have dual citizenship, you know, in Ghana or in, you know, all the other places that have, that allow dual citizenship, for one. But that's why it's been so cool to meet other people. You know, my clients that lived in Abu Dhabi, they were like, yeah, I mean, we've had people that lived in Greece that had a house in, you know, Scotland and, you know, all these other things. And they were, you know, in Abu Dhabi at the time. That is normal around the world. We are the ones that are just like, oh, you're anti-American or whatever. That's anti-patriotic when you want to, you know, have property or have dual citizenship in another country. It's not. It's a preference. And that's okay. So we have to, like, we really have to, I think people get scared when you talk about it. It's almost as scary, you know, people get polarizing as politics when you're talking about having a different country to live in. Oh my gosh, that's anti-American. It's not. If you do your research around the world, that's actually quite normal for many people that live in Europe. They have houses in other countries. No big deal. No big deal at all. And it's very, very interesting. So, shout out to Sheila. You see what I'm saying? But she's going to have to come on board. Or, you know, it just might be a preference that Sheila just wants to stay here, and that's fine.
But, you know, another thing that's an issue is sometimes it could be very expensive to even travel, let alone move to an international country. So, to an international country. So, you get to the whole income disparity thing. Like, hell, I didn't even go on a plane till I was like 27.
You were 28.
28 years old.
In our honeymoon.
Yeah, maybe I could have been on a plane, gone on a plane sooner. But a lot of times when you go to visit these places, just like the international flights and stuff could be very expensive. And you talk about, like, for some people it's unrealistic because you go from somebody that's never been on vacation before or never left the state to going to a country. is it for everybody? But that's like probably like phase 2. So some people is just like
Just try.
trying
Just
to make
try.
it from
Just
traded. But you can't try it if you.
Well,
if you
what I'm
have
saying is,
limitations.
just try. Just going to a different place, going to a different city, going to a different state, and visiting and experiencing different parts of our culture. Just try that, because that's what opened my eyes to more parts of the world. And let me tell you, I can't wait to travel even more. I'm gonna take y'all with me. Don't worry. But I can't wait to travel more.
Look here, we can put all these microphones.
Pack it up.
Charles, you on the
Let's
road.
go.
You know what I'm saying? We can do the podcast from anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
That's
we
right.
Can be in,
Okay, so but you got to answer
that's
the
phase
question.
2.
Yeah.
Because it's phase 2. Because just like
What's phase 1 then?
phase 1 is you gotta have the mentality, or just like us, we went from being Ohio, because once you move somewhere one time before,
Sure.
it takes a lot of the sting out of it. Just like when you fail, like if you fall off a bike, you're like, oh, I didn't die, I can try again. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's kind of how we got out here. Well, we didn't die.
yeah, so I think that should we all have a plan B country, but probably yes, but for some people,
I say, why
it's
not?
like a phase
Go for
2.
it. Why not?
It's yes, and
Because I'm not in your
gotta be
pockets. I'm not watching your
phase
pockets.
2.
So
Yeah.
if that's what you desire, go for it. Why
if
not?
economically
Put a plan
feasible,
together. Let's go.
yes, you should have a plan.
Okay,
B.
but what's your country?
My country, right now, as far as I know, until I get my international travel on a lot more, my country is for sure Accra, Ghana, because. For me, my motivations is I don't want to go to France or somewhere where I'm still a minority. I want to make a
You wanna
power
see
move.
people
I want to see my
that look like
people.
you.
I want to be a majority. And also, I don't want to have too big of a learning curve. So I need to quickly learn the language, or my language is still spoken out there to where I can conduct business and I can communicate.
Okay.
So for me, I'm going back to the homeland and
The motherland.
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. You can visit me in Dubai. Okay, bye. And I'll come visit you.
They don't kick you out because you change your careers and side hustles too much.
No, they're gonna be like, Nikki, what you got next? What you doing next? Anyway, no, I like Dubai. Ghana, definitely. I mean, honestly, like I would love to see Ghana. I heard Nigeria is beautiful as well.
Why
But
so
if I
many
have-
people moving from Nigeria if it's so nice though? That's one question that I have.
I don't know. We haven't got over there to see
Like
it.
I got Mexico. Mexico is on here. Like why so many people move from Mexico?
I don't know.
That's questions that I have.
I don't know. But Mexico is a humongous country. Humongous.
that's true.
So you can't.
But a lot of people make their money here and send it back.
Yeah.
Send their money back.
Well, I mean, to other countries, not just Mexico though.
Mm-hmm.
They send it back to other. I mean, yeah, if it's like 30 cents on a dollar, I would too. If my dollar's 3 times as stronger, 6 times stronger, I would too.
All right, Jen.
Anyway,
Jen,
what's yours?
I'm going to Belize.
Jen.
Okay.
Yeah, I want
We'll come
the
visit.
tropics and the water and
Yes.
the brown people. I want all of that.
I love
Give me
it.
that stuff.
I love it. Oh, guys, we won't be together.
All right, tell the people again what to do to tell us what's
What?
their plan B country.
Oh, put it in the comments?
Yeah.
Babe, you could have said that.
I'm just saying, because you had messed it
coulda
up
said
earlier.
that.
You
Someone's
know.
pouting that I didn't read the docket, that I took away his shine, and this is what's happening right now on this podcast. Okay. So what Jay wants you to do, and what I want you to do is put it in the comments. We want to know, are you going to be split up like us? Okay. If we're gonna be together, babe, you gotta come to Dubai. I'm just kidding. I'll come to Accra. Get the house ready for
That's
me.
all right. You
Get the house ready.
As soon as you change your
What I want to do?
what you want to do, they kick
everything
you
I
out,
touch
and
is
be
gonna
like,
be
all right, I already
successful.
got our house and stuff set up.
That's
out here.
my affirmation. Okay, so put it in the comments. We want to know for sure. Let's get into this real estate minute of the day really quickly. I've got your top 5 questions that you need to ask a loan officer. All right. So when you are interested in becoming a homeowner, you come see me, and I'm going to give you a list of some of the top loan officers that I work with. But that doesn't mean that you should automatically go with that loan officer. You need to ask them questions. You need to make sure they fit, right? So here are your top 5 questions that you need to ask. Number 1, what types of loans do you specialize in? Okay, if you are, let's say you're a VA and or you need a VA loan, you'll want to find a loan officer that specializes in VA loans, that know VA loans backwards and forwards, because you want somebody that's solid and somebody that can work with you on your home buying team. Number 2, how many years of experience have you had in the industry? Listen, we know being realtors, experience does matter. So it also does matter for your loan officer as well. Number 3, can you provide some references from some past clients? All right, Google reviews are great as well, but they need to have them. You want to see what other people are saying about them. Number 4, what are the interest rates and fees associated with the types of loans that you have available? That's a big, big question. You want to know how much it's going to cost you to borrow this money, because it's all going to be a part of your mortgage. And number 5, how does the loan application work? You want to know how the process works. You want to know when they're going to pull your credit. Is it a soft or a hard pull? All these questions are super duper important when you are interviewing your loan officer. All right, I've got this and more in my book, and part of the resources at beforeyoubuy.readthis.com. The book is now on pre-sale. Definitely check it out. I've actually got a full 10-question list that you can ask your loan officer. All you got to do is go to beforeyoubuy.readthis.com, pick up your book, and you will have all of those resources available to you. All right, guys, that has been a very interesting podcast. Who knows? Will I see you in my country? Will we see you in his country? Who knows? You never know. But go ahead, put it in the comments. Let us know what your favorite part of this podcast was. Make sure you visit us at thewillisteamlv.com. We'd love to help you here and around the world. Just go ahead and go to that website, click on a consultation, and our team will get with you. All right, guys. Well, have a great rest of your week. It is summertime now.
Yeah, so you'll see us in a couple weeks. We taking just a short mid-season break for a couple weeks, and we'll see you guys back in a couple weeks.
All right, guys. Take care. Bye.